You left.
I'm 55 next month. I left.
No way. Who's 55?
Me, sir.
And they call me babyface. They call me. They have the temerity to call me babyface.
Sergio, you have always been the babyface. I don't know how you do it. I would put it down to good genes from your parents.
Yeah, well, Levi's. I mean, Levi's and, good genes.
I left in my 40s. Wow. I've been here 9 years plus.
9 years, so that was 46-ish.
Yeah, so
45, 40. Look, so how long did it take you to settle into where the existential needs of life were no longer a problem? Where as the month wound up, you weren't agitated and bothered about rent and all those other things again? How long?
I'm still bothered about rent.
I'm sorry to laugh. You're still bothered about rent.
Now it's called a mortgage.
Okay, so it's a mortgage now, yeah?
But it is still rent until
such a time as until you pay off your thingy.
I'm still bothered about. And the American system is such that even when you pay up the mortgage and the house is yours, no, the house belongs to my wife. Because here in the United States, the woman gets the house, not the man. We are just servants. Even after the bills have been paid, you will pay HOA now.
Oh yeah, you have HOA. HOA, Home Owners Association. Them guys.
Oh, you will pay HOA. You will pay your utility bill. You'll pay NEPA. Sorry, for those of you who don't, NEPA is what we use in Nigeria. You will pay electricity. You are paying. At the end of the year, you will now pay the property tax, no matter how minute, even if it's $1, you are paying. But there will be some sort of comfort level when all the, I've forgotten the car notes. You pay your car notes now. You must pay your
phone bills, your cable bills, Wi-Fi, health insurance.
Oh no! Don't get me started, please. My wife looks at these bills and like, when are we going to traverse this?
Get through this. Get to the clearing. When is all this going to be over?
She's so prayerful that it amazes me. I wish I were as prayerful as my wife. It helps. And all she says is, God is able. Eventually, you'll. Doris is in Maryland. Bayo Alinko is here.
Yeah, you were just going to see Alinko right now.
Yeah. A lot of us. Jackpot.
Well,
so to speak. It is for a greener pasture. It is for a brighter future. You can't start any business in Nigeria now. A crate of egg is close to 5,000 naira.
Well, Adupe, thank you.
My brother.
All right. Bless you. Thank you. That was an introspective, instructive, inspiring interview with Femi Brainard. And just in case you're watching this and you didn't see the preceding video, if you're just watching this on, say, maybe Instagram or Facebook or somewhere else, I must enjoin you and plead with you, encourage you to go and see that interview with one of the original superstars of Nollywood, Femi Brainard, who left all that stardom behind and came to America for what he envisioned and what he thought was a better life, a better future for himself and his family. Look, there is no transition without the pain and the challenges of transition. And I think it's very key and very crucial and very critical to make this point at this time when a lot of people are in the process of emigrating from Nigeria, or what my people call Japa. Things are so challenging right now. Things are so difficult that as far as Many people are concerned the only way out of it is just to leave, and that is okay. But the point that you need to bear in mind is, even when you've identified that somewhere is metaphorically Egypt, where you're suffering, where you're oppressed, and then you need to go to the promised land, you must realize that there's always going to be a wilderness in the middle. And this is the example that I've used 1,000 times, and I'll probably use it another billion times, okay? It's the story of the children of Israel in the Bible going from Egypt to the promised land. These were people who were enslaved, just oppressed, just downtrodden, and just kept down for centuries. I mean, they cried out to God. That was what God literally said, I can hear the cries of my people. And so they were liberated, and Moses was the liberator, and they were going to the promised land, and they left with a lot of cheer and a lot of money. You know, they took all the gold and the silver and the entire household wealth of Egypt, and they left. And yet, when they got into the wilderness, in short order, they started to complain. They complained and griped and carried on so much that after a while, God said, none of this entire generation, not a single one of you, including Moses, is going to get into that promised land. I mean, when you read that story, all my life when I've read that story, I never could understand how people could be so crazy. How can you want to leave a place that you identified as not being good for you? In fact, a place that you literally cried out for freedom. You wanted out of that place so bad. You prayed for it. You wished for it. You said you will do anything to get out of that place. Only for you to get out of that place on the way to a place that you've identified as the promised land. And then you not only complain so bad, you actually want to go back. It defies reasoning and imagination until you go through the process, or until you start the process of emigrating yourself. Until you start an immigration process, you have no idea. When you start an immigration process and that thing comes down, then you will understand why the children of Israel wanted to go back. So this is not about discouraging you, all right? Usually in life, there is no progress without leaving one level, especially a level you've identified as not being good for you, for the next level. But what you need to prepare yourself for is that it is not going to be seamless. There is no transition in life without the pain of the transition. Consider a newborn baby. If you give birth to a baby today, from the comfort of the womb of the mother, the pain of passing through the matrix of birth is going to cause that baby to cry. That's why babies cry when they come through. It's a loss of the comfort, it's a loss of a familiar surrounding. It's the pain of the transition. And then, even when they do not cry, because some babies come and they don't cry, what do the doctors do, or the midwives? They smack them. They smack them on the behind. You have to cry. There is no transition without pain. That happens so that when you finally get to the top of the mountain, metaphorically speaking, when you finally get into the promised land, you are able to appreciate not only where you're coming from, but you're able to appreciate what you went through to get to where you were going. Let me round all of this up. Okay. If you're considering emigrating, again, what our people call japa, good for you. That means that somewhere in your being, or as our people say, in your being, with almost every fiber of your being, you know that that is the next step for you and yours. Great. Don't be discouraged. Prepare yourself, but know that there is going to be some sort of discomfort during transition. This right here is to encourage you when that time comes for you to not run back to where you're coming from. You're going to blame yourself for wanting to leave in the first place. You're going to tell yourself, like the Israelites said to themselves in the wilderness. They literally said, but we had cucumbers and onions and fish and plenty food to eat in Egypt. It was better for us to have died in Egypt. So transition is never going to be seamless, but that should not stop you from venturing to transit. All right. Thank you for watching, and wait for the next one.